Okay, so we're all feeling some pain right now with the cost of basically everything that we need being higher than we're used to. If you're trying to fill up your car with gas at the pump, you're paying almost double what you were a year ago, with the average price per gallon around $4.30. If you're buying your weekly load of groceries, you're probably spending about 10% more than you were last year. If you're trying to buy a house, you're going to pay at least 20% more for that house today than you would have a year ago in most major markets. And for those of you thinking about renting a house or apartment, those rates are being hit the worst, increasing as much as 40% in some cities. Today, though, we are not talking about the impact that all of us average people have been feeling when it comes to day-to-day living expenses. We are going to be diving into the most expensive rental properties in the United States, because just like gas, groceries, and housing prices, the luxury rental market has absolutely exploded over the past year as well. With nearly 500 rental listings across the country asking over $100,000 per month, the luxury rental market is now regularly hitting price points that we've never seen before. Today, we've got a pretty simple format for this episode. We're just gonna pull up some of the coolest luxury rental listings that are on the market right now. Now, we all know that there are some expensive homes in Beverly Hills, Manhattan, and some parts of Florida. That's no secret. So it wasn't a huge surprise to me that those three areas are where I found the largest concentration of expensive rentals. I'm gonna screen share now and we can look at some of these crazy listings together. Okay guys, so like I said earlier, we literally have almost 500 listings across the country that are asking over $100,000 per month in rent. So to keep this video somewhat organized and easy to follow, let's just focus on one part of the country at a time, and then I'll show you some of my personal favorites from that area. Okay, so starting in California, in this region alone, we have about 40 listings for $100,000 or more per month in rent. There's a small cluster of them right down here over by Laguna Beach, another small cluster of them over here by Santa Barbara, but the majority of them are here in this LA area. Sorting highest to lowest, the highest price point for any of these rentals is $200,000 per month. So let's look at that top listing for fun. So this place is 5 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It's got 10,000 square feet. Looks like it's been listed for about 4 months. They're saying this is a spectacular Malibu estate, which was done by what sounds like a famous architect. There's a 2-story guest house and a tennis court out back. I guess the main house is a U shape, and it talks about the exterior having this fountain-filled reflecting pool with palm trees and vanishing doors kind of on either side of it. If you want to rent it out for $200,000 per month long-term, that's an option, but there's some fine print here that says if you want to rent it out short-term, you can do that for just $300,000 per month. Okay, let's get out of there. I'm going to show you guys another favorite of mine. So this is one also in Malibu at 24864 Malibu Road. This house, they're asking only $125,000 per month. This home is awesome. It's totally my style. I love the use of wood and stucco on the outside. The inside, a lot of you guys might think is kind of sterile because it is very clean and white, but then there's that random use of wood paneling on the walls that kind of warms the spaces up a little bit. Obviously, you can't beat these views. You're looking out to the ocean from basically every room in the house. And at the end, you can see that as soon as you walk through the front door, you are just staring straight through the house and out at the ocean. Before we leave LA, we just have to look at one more together that's really cool. So this one's renting for $125,000 per month. It is a massive apartment in the sky in downtown Los Angeles. So this apartment is 52 floors in the sky. It is 19,300 square feet in total. It's got 6 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms. And then if you live in this penthouse, you don't need to go down to the bottom levels and use all the community spaces. I guess it's got its own rooftop pool, barbecue, fireplace, fitness studio, and steam room and sauna. Not sure who would need this much space or who would ever want to live in downtown LA, but if you do, this place is pretty cool. Okay, so let's get out of California and move over to the East Coast. There are about 20 homes in Aspen, Colorado, but I'm pretty sure most of those are short-term rentals based on the way the descriptions are reading, so we're just gonna skip over that. And before we zoom in and we look at Florida and then the New York area, I'm just gonna call out really quick that yes, there's a listing in Wisconsin and 2 listings in Alabama that claim they're for rent for $150,000+ per month, but the listing agents here just made a typo clearly, because these are not houses that should be renting renting out for that much money. Okay, so looking at the Florida area next, we've got 27 listings in total in this area that are going for over $100,000 per month, and several of those listings are going for $200,000 per month if you sort highest to lowest. As far as where the listings are at, the majority of them are down here in this West Palm Beach and Miami and Fort Lauderdale area, and I already picked out my 3 favorites from this area, and they are awesome. So first up, we've got this one off of Bayview Drive. They're asking $125,000 a month for this place. It's 8,100 square feet. There's 7 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms inside. And when we flip through the photos, you guys are gonna see this place has got a ton of glass, just like all the other modern houses out there. It is sitting right on the water with its own boat slip. There's a 56-foot pool in there, a spa, a putting green, a half-court basketball court. And the finishes, again, in here are very much like those other houses that we were looking at in California. You've got a lot of use of the color white, that concrete color, and then that modern finish package you see on the cabinets, the countertops, and all that material they put on the walls. This next place is another condo. This is not even a house, and they're asking $130,000 per month for this place. It's a full floor penthouse with over 10,000 square feet. The great room alone is 86 feet with over 1,100 feet of terraces overlooking Biscayne Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. The apartment has 5 bedrooms, 6.5 bathrooms, and it sounds like other amenities that are offered to people who live here are things like car service, beach service, a helipad, a spa, a great gym, an indoor lap pool, an outdoor pool, a juice bar, security, valet, anything that you'd ever want. Last, let's move up to the largest cluster of expensive rentals in the United States. Now, from this point of view, before we zoom in too close, it kind of looks like one big blob of properties, and it kind of is, but there's a few things going on here. First, we have Manhattan, which actually only has 4 rental listings that are priced over $100,000 a month. Then we've got these other random places like in Atlantic City or Asbury Park or Nantucket or Vermont that each have a listing or 2 in that price range. But what really surprised me, where the bulk of these listings are coming from, are all in this Hamptons area. There are over 400 listings in this region that are priced at over $100,000 per month or more. When we sort these things priced highest to lowest, you'll see it's insane. We've got properties at $500,000 a month, $495,000 a month, $450,000, $450,000, $450,000, then a bunch at $400,000 per month. I mean, it's hard to even fathom that there are this many listings out there at this price point, and that there are that many people out there who would rent these houses at this price point. Anyways, you know the drill. Let's check out some of my favorites together. So, of course, it seems like I have expensive tastes out here in the Hamptons. The first one at 152 Sag Road is asking $200,000 a month. It's got the modern exterior that I love, but almost the entire house is wrapped in this wood paneling, which is really nice. The house is a little bit elevated. The description says that it's actually a hilltop home. So it's cool because you actually have views of the pond and the water in the distance. And I guess out the other side of the house, you're looking out to some vineyards, which is really nice. The inside's nice. It's got 12-foot ceilings, of course. It's got big open spaces, a big chef's kitchen. There's a couple of living rooms in there, but the house is only 6,400 square feet, so it's not massive. This is not a walking distance kind of a home. That's the only downside. If you're gonna wanna get to the pond or the golf course or shopping or restaurants or anything like that, you're gonna need to get in the car. So this next place up here is also priced at $200,000 per month. It's actually even smaller than the last one at only 5,500 square feet. It's 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and now we're talking it's sitting right on the ocean. So obviously the views are kind of the star of the show with this house, but it's also got these really nice wood floors throughout, which I really like. It's full of windows in every direction, so you're just capturing those ocean views basically no matter where you're at in the house. This is a relatively new construction home as well. It was built back in 2018, so it's not all that old. Outside there is a 44-foot heated pool. As you can see in these photos, there's a ton of decks and terraces off all these bedrooms and rooms. All right, and the last one on our list from the Hamptons, I just had to pick this one because to me, this is about exactly what I'd expect to see if I was going to a Hamptons home. Definitely not my style, but it is beautiful. They're asking $198,333 per month. There's 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms in this house. It's got 6,000 square feet of living space. And the way the listing description describes it is that it's got great sunsets if you're hanging out over there by that pool. It's got access to the water with its own private dock. Lots of different fire features scattered amongst the whole property. And every room is furnished really nicely. This is another one of those homes that it doesn't flat out say that it's a vacation rental, but it's sure staged like a vacation rental. And I would imagine that at this price point, you get all of this furniture with the house if you choose to rent it. So there you have it. If you've got $100,000 or $200,000 per month lying around and you're looking for a place to live, then you're in luck. There's some options in some of the coolest places in the country. If you're like me, you're probably wondering who in their right mind would spend this much money on a rental unit, right? I mean, if they could afford $100,000 per month in rent, wouldn't they just want to buy a house instead? Well, that's a very good question, and there are a handful of factors at play here that would cause someone to want to spend this much money on rent. Now, the first thing is that we have to remember there's a lot of wealthy people out there who look at owning your own home not as an investment, but instead as a liability.
A house is one of the dumbest, worst investments a human being could possibly make for one reason. You have to pay the house doesn't pay you.
If you're not familiar with that guy, his name is Grant Cardone, and he has an estimated net worth to be around $1 billion. He's worth $1 billion, but he doesn't own the home that he lives in, he rents. People who subscribe to this way of thinking that owning your own home is a liability argue that, for one, owning your own home comes with a never-ending stream of maintenance, and then two, they also usually come with a 30-year mortgage with all of that interest being paid to a bank. Another factor for why somebody would want to live in a luxury rental condition is that they have the positive cash flow and they want that luxury lifestyle. They don't want to deal with all of the crazy ongoing maintenance that comes with owning luxury real estate. You have to realize that a lot of these houses that we were just looking at come with tens of thousands of dollars per month in maintenance, and that's not just the taxes and the insurance and the utilities, but we're also talking cleaning and lawn maintenance and pool maintenance and window washing, all of that. Plus, in an expensive property like this, if anything ever breaks, that's a big headache and expense that's going to the owner, not to the renter. And the last factor that might motivate somebody to spend $100,000 plus per month in rent is that they're just really wealthy and happen to be in a transitional phase of life. Maybe they have a temporary work assignment in Manhattan for 6 months and they're rich and they just want a nice place to stay. Or maybe they're building their dream home in the Hamptons and they just want to live nearby while their house is being built. Or maybe they're just a work from home entrepreneur and they really enjoy the high life of working from home in different areas. So because of their flexibility to be able to work from home, they're moving around all the time. No matter what way you spin it, there is clearly a market out there to cater to those people who just have tons of money and they just want to live in style where they rent. If you are the fortunate owner of one of these high-rise apartments in Manhattan, one of these beachfront homes in the Hamptons, or one of these mega mansions in Bel Air, then you're probably in a pretty good situation financially to be able to fetch rents like this. I dove into the purchase prices and the tax bills on a handful of these homes that we looked at today, and while some of them do have astronomical overhead, especially the ones with HOA dues, on most of them, the owners are probably only looking at like $50,000 to $60,000 in monthly expenses. If these landlords only have $50,000 worth of monthly expenses, but they're renting these units out for $100,000 a piece or more, that means that after all expenses are paid, they're making $50,000 in cash flow just off of one property alone, which is absolutely insane. Another positive part about renting out at this price point is I would imagine that most of the tenants that you're renting out to are pretty responsible and they're not going to trash your place. Plus, there's a pretty good chance that you'll never need to evict a tenant of this caliber, which is one of the downsides if you're a landlord of more affordable units. Anyways, if you enjoyed the format of this video today, guys, if you could hit that thumbs up button down below before you go, that really helps my channel out a lot. And don't forget to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, because I'm putting new videos out every week. But that's all I've got for you guys this time. So until next time, see ya.